some of the most serious foreign policy issue crises of its times. We'll be right back. Welcome back. You're watching Witness. Well, of course, Dr. Alamgir, before, one of the things that is very clear right now is that there was a demand from everybody that the cabinet should be a lot smaller than it was, 50, 80 odd ministers. Now, the number of the cabinet ministers has come down, but a lot of people are saying that one of the commitments also made by the Prime Minister early on, right after he became Prime Minister, was that he was going to examine the performance of every minister every 3 months. And what we are seeing over here is that a lot of names that have come back into this cabinet are of people who do not have a good track record. Forget allegations of corruption, they simply haven't delivered.
Look, 100% consensus cannot be reached on any issue in this world. But our leadership has tried to come up to the expectations of the public, and they have constituted a cabinet which they they wanted to, and which is much cleaner. I would never say that the outgoing ministers, the ministers that have been dropped, they have also delivered. They have also worked.
Delivered what?
They have they have delivered, and we are political people. We will go into the public. We come through votes, and we are again ready to go to votes even tomorrow.
Can I ask you just one question? What is any achievement of the federal cabinet in the past 3 years that you can point to and say, I'm proud we did that?
Look, look, we have done a lot of good things. I admit that there are criticism, but we have given the nation 18th amendment.
Parliament did that.
But it's the cabinet. It's parliament. Cabinet is part of the parliament. Cabinet is from the parliament.
What has the cabinet done in terms of its own ability to govern?
I want to agree with your views. In my views, we have done a lot. We have delivered, and we will be delivered. We will go into the public. Let the public decide what our achievements are.
What goals has the new cabinet set for itself in the next 3 months?
Look, there are a lot of issues. We have a lot of issues. We want to solve these issues with consensus. We want to take all the political parties into confidence. That's why we are talking with PMLN. We are convening around a roundtable conference. We want to take all the issues into the parliament. This is we are elected people, and we'll be going to the people again.
Of course.
We want to solve these problems, but I think now it's time that some problems are above politics. Now it's time. I think it's because of the politicians, because of we have it's our mistakes that we have reached to this point. But now a time has come that all of us, we should put our heads together. We should admit our failures, and we should solve these problems.
All right, Dr. Mazari, Dr.
Alamgir, you're being unfair. Of course, they have delivered the previous cabinet. They have delivered corruption. They have delivered high prices.
No, this is very easy to accuse somebody.
These are cases that are coming.
She's in the opposition. She has her
no, this is very easy. This is very easy to accuse somebody.
Well, you're also just saying we have delivered, but you're giving no example of what you have delivered.
So I am also
saying, yes, you have delivered because we have seen increasing corruption.
The courts are free. You can go to the court.
We have seen people that's how we are learning about the corruption, because people are going to the court.
Dr. Mazari,
but I want to say one thing. Yes, the new cabinet is smaller, but look at it. It's amazing. You have Hafiz Sheikh, who had vowed and threatened that if general sales tax is not implemented, I will resign. Why has he come back? What has he come back for?
We'll have to ask him that next time he's on the program.
Shamelessness. And then the idea was, the demand of the people was that the ministries that were headed by corrupt people, or where the corruption cases were scandalous, they should have been removed. But I don't see Mr. Amin Fahim going and his ministry as the largest publicly acknowledged cases of corruption that are being dealt with in the courts.
But none of them have been proved, right?
No, but they're in the courts, okay?
Okay, they're in the
courts. So
what
I'm saying is that people...
So you think that a minister should step down?
Tainted people have been brought in, and two party hoppers, of course. I mean, Hina Rabbani Khan was very close to Shaukat Aziz. Now she's very close to Prime Minister Gilani. Shaukat Awan, who now Firdaus Awan, who is now sort of, leading with the banner of the PPP. Till the last government, she was with that government.
Okay,
So
but
what
they've
I'm
all, but
saying
they've
is
contested elections
who-
on new party tickets.
yes,
I mean,
but-
we have to be fair. They
yes,
didn't switch sides.
But this is politics in Pakistan, because none of the established parties have any ideologies or programs. You can party
don't
hop
people
from
have the
one
right
to
to
the
change
other.
their minds? But don't people have right to
No,
change
but
their
you
minds?
can then party hop from one to the other
Okay.
so easily.
Quickly, Dr. Alamgir, if you can respond to what Dr. Mazari is saying, particularly, of course, very importantly on the fact that the new cabinet does not have a large number of PPP hardcore loyalists that have been with the party for years and years.
Look,
A lot of them have
all
been
the
there.
members, they have contested election on Pakistan People's Party ticket.
Yes, I think
they have
we agree
been
on that.
elected on Pakistan People's Party, and they are from Pakistan People's Party. And you know, they are elected people.
But they're not the hardcore loyalists that
This-
one would.
this,
Barring Raza Rabbani.
Barring Raza Rabbani.
look, this must be the Honorable
Dr. Mazari, yeah.
Honorable Dr. Mazari's views, but our views are you know, different. We say that we are from a party, we are a disciplined party, and our party has decided whatever they decide, we'll abide by that.
You'll abide by that. Has there been some heartburn? We hear that some people have gone to the president and the prime minister saying, "Hey, how are we left out?"
Yeah, maybe, but this is again our internal issue.
Well,
we'll just-
sorry, has Vishay joined the PPP now?
He
Has he
became a
joined the
senator on the
PPP?
People's Party's
Oh, okay.
ticket, did he not?
I don't know. Did he or did he just come as
Dr. Abdul
technocrat?
Hafiz Sheikh is
Has
on the
he officially
technocrat,
joined
or
the
is he in the
PPP now?
PPP?
He has joined the Pakistan
joined.
People's
Oh,
Party,
okay.
and he has been elected by the Pakistan People's Party
Senate.
ticket.
PPP Senate
From-
ticket.
from
Okay,
Senate.
Senator, now this is of course a very crucial point over here before we just get bogged down into into this cabinet. Pakistan is at a crossroads right now. The situation is critical in terms of the economy, the war against terrorism. The Australian embassy, the Australian government has today closed down the consulates in Lahore and Karachi, citing what they believe to be credible intelligence that there are going to be major terrorist attacks in Pakistani cities. They've warned their citizens not to come to Pakistan and not to go to areas where Westerners are likely to congregate. In this kind of environment, do you see this new cabinet as being able to steer this country out of the current crisis?
Actually, as far as the cabinet is concerned, obviously the cabinet can be from a party, and what stuff they have placed in front of people. So you can't object that.
No, they have the right to constitute a cabinet of their choice.
Obviously. Secondly, is that the problem with the government is that the government is facing a situation in which I think the good governance or bad governance, these are two words which can't fit in. It's an issue of no governance.
No governance.
We are passing through a period in which the governance level, and I'll be free to say that this is not only issue with the federal government. So is the case with provincial governments also.
Okay.
That if the 60% is Punjab, then 60% Punjab is also having no governance. And so is the case in Sindh, and so is the case in NWFP and the Balochistan. So, but the government is the one end which is specific to the federal government is the economy. They are totally failing to deal with the economy, and especially in the perspective of corruption. Because the major issue which is affecting the revival of our economy is, I think, the level of corruption in decision making. Because corruption is always there in every country. You can't say that country is free of corruption, but usually it's so that corruption is not on the policy level. If the appointment of secretaries, appointment of different top persons is through payments, then this is what you will have it.
Do you, again, Senator, I have to ask you, we hear this over and over again, and not just in this government. We have heard similar accusations against People's Party government in 1988, against the PMLN government in 1990, and so forth and so forth. Your government also, when it came in, was accusing both the People's Party and the PMLN of corruption. You had the National Accountability Bureau, and guess what? Nobody has been able to win a conviction in court.
Actually, the corruption, as far as I think, the issue of corruption should be dealt in a very different way. Corruption for past is no accountability. If you really want an accountability, then you'll have to have on-job accountability to an extent.
So everybody who has been corrupt earlier should just be given
I'm not saying that. But whenever you go for past, the case will be so, it was as it was in our government, that anybody who comes with us is clean, and anybody who is not
Well,
coming
now
with
your party is complaining, Chaudhry Shujat is saying that the Mona Salahi case is all the Punjab government and...
that's his right.
Do you agree with him?
I can totally agree with him if he's saying so, that there must be something. As far as the NIC case is concerned, corruption,
Talk about
it
the
was
NIC
good.
case.
It was good that it was taken up by the government. So, but anybody who was responsible for that on the receiving end, they are all there. There is no case against them. Those who sold their lands might be at a price which was not reasonable. The money has been given back.
But I'm going to
But
talk
who
the
received,
question
who
I'm
took
asking-
that decision? There was no action
What I'm
against them.
talking about, Senator, is the fact that whoever is hauled up for corruption screams political victimization.
Actually, that's there. So what I'm saying is that whoever is caught, but anybody who is sitting in government, if he is not caught, anybody, the one who has sold that land,
Who's going to build the cat? Who is going to
and
build the cat?
But his
now
point
this
is
is
right.
this is the point where court comes, and today if court public is now the situation is very interesting. There's a new track going on in the government. Public is reacting, media is reflecting, and court is acting.
Okay.
So under this new situation and new arrangement, if there is some positive outcome, as far as the today's government is concerned, I must say that whenever there is political government, there are political achievements. The 18th Amendment achievement is on their end, the political and NFC award achievement is on their end, but it's always like so that economy goes down, corruption goes up, and delivery and the governance goes
But you're willing
haywire.
you're willing to give the outgoing cabinet the credit for the NFC and
Yeah,
18th
I'll
Amendment,
definitely
even
like-
though everybody says that was Parliament.
Actually,
that's-
that was Parliament, and all the
18th
political,
Amendment was
all the
Parliament, basically.
parties in Parliament, they definitely cooperated in that manner. But one should be given
government should
be given the credit for what they have
Okay.
done, and they should be criticized what they have not done. If we'll go one way, then it won't look realistic.
Okay, not to look realistic. Dr. Alamgir, of course, one of the issues that is of now critical concern as far as the public is concerned. The Raymond Davis case is now being perceived as a test case for the credibility of this government's entire foreign policy. Because the drone attacks have come under extreme attack, but they originated in the Pervez Musharraf government. And this government has sort of walked on eggshells and protected itself, but this Raymond Davis case isn't going away. Who's going to blink first?
Look, as far as the Raymond Davis case is concerned, I think the law is taking its course. Raymond Davis is in jail. The matter is in court, and
And the Americans
and
are
let-
driving your
yes.
foreign office crazy.
yes, yes, they are. But you know, our courts are there. They are free courts. Let the court decide.
Agreed. But how concerned are you?
I
that
don't.
this is-
I don't think we should make an issue out of it.
I'm talking
look,
about the
we should not
impact.
influence the court. I think the court should decide whatever the court decides according to the law of the land. That will
Agreed.
be acceptable
That's,
to everyone.
That's a stated position of your party, but what
This is
about
our-
the long-term impact of what is happening? For example, the United States has postponed the very significant trilateral meeting that was scheduled to be held in Washington between Pakistan, Afghanistan and the United States. The first meeting that was going to be held after President Obama unveiled his Afghan policy. And the State Department says it has been postponed due to political developments in Pakistan. How worried are you about this?
Yeah, we are worried. We are very worried. That's why we are convening a roundtable conference. We are negotiating with everyone. But again, I'll say that the matter is in court, and let the court decide. It will be decided according to the law of the land.
Agreed. That's a statement. Dr. Mazari, a very important question over here. In fact, in many ways, maybe a very unfair question over here. I'm going to play the devil's advocate. 3 people died, 2 killed at the hands of Raymond Davis, the third person killed by an unknown, unidentified driver
Who still hasn't been
who
handed
still
over.
hasn't been handed over. 3 people have died. The United States
And the
is
wife
now,
has committed
and the wife has
suicide.
committed suicide. 3 people versus 180 million people. The United States is now threatening to cut off aid
Katrina,
to the
it's
Pakistan.
not a question of 3 people versus 180 million people. One thing, this is the Pakistani nation against an imperialist US. Let's be very clear. And what my concern is that our government, our leaders are blinking, which is why all the pressure is coming on the Foreign Office. If the president and the prime minister and the chief of army staff stood their ground against the Americans, the pressure would not be on the Foreign Office. If the Americans are cancelling their meeting, I think it's a wonderful opportunity for Pakistan. This is a chance we have to break the sort of subservient relationship that we have with the